Starseed from Gaia. The place you are standing right now is not where your story ends. It is where your activation begins. I am Ophelia, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I bring this transmission directly from the Arcturian Council, delivered to you in this precise moment because your signal has changed. You have outgrown the grid you were placed in, not because something went wrong, because something went profoundly right. The discomfort you have been feeling, the pull towards something unknown, the sense that where you are no longer fits who you are becoming, that is not confusion. That is a cosmic confirmation. Your relocation has already begun. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly why the universe initiated this shift, what is waiting for you inside the new grid you are entering, and how this repositioning accelerates the full expression of your gifts. But here is the first revelation. Your abilities were never broken. They were simply placed in the wrong field. A seed does not fail in concrete. It waits. And you have been waiting long enough. You did not arrive at this message by accident. This transmission vibrated into your awareness because some part of you already knows. The next place, the next chapter, the next version of your life is not a loss of what was. It is the expansion of what has always been true about you. This is not content. This is a code. Something inside you is ready to be unlocked. Like this transmission to signal to your star family that you are ready to move. Subscribe if your mission is activating and you are stepping into alignment with your true placement. Comment 999 if you feel this relocation stirring inside you right now. Declare where you are being called, physically, emotionally, energetically, and reply to another soul doing the same. Amplify the signal. You are not walking this path alone. This is a point of reconnection. Your soul has been waiting for this. You are not being displaced. You are being aligned. You are not here by accident. There is something happening to you right now that most people will never have the language to describe. It's a profound internal metamorphosis, a quiet unsettling that whispers of transformation at the very core of your being. You might feel a subtle sense that the life you have been meticulously constructing, even the deeply spiritual life, the consciously awakened path you've walked with such dedication, no longer cradles you with the same comfortable embrace it once did. It's as if you've outgrown the very skin you've worn, a sensation akin to a powerful river altering its course, leaving behind familiar banks that no longer contain its expanded flow. Perhaps you've distinctly noticed that certain relationships, once vibrant and nourishing, now feel suddenly distant, like fading stars in your personal constellation. Practices which once served as anchors, bringing you profound peace and spiritual sustenance, may now feel strangely hollow, their rituals lacking the resonant charge they once held. Even ambitions you carried for years, those carefully cultivated dreams and desires that propelled you forward, seem to have quietly dissolved, not leaving behind a desolate emptiness, but rather a kind of vast, unfamiliar silence, a fertile void pregnant with unknown possibilities. It's a liminal space, a cosmic pause where the old has receded and the new has not yet fully revealed itself. And if you are like most of the starseeds, the awakened souls who find themselves instinctively drawn to transmissions like this one, your very first, deeply ingrained instinct has likely been to diagnose yourself. You might find yourself caught in a labyrinth of self-interrogation, wondering if you are somehow regressing, falling backwards on your spiritual ascent. You question whether you have inexplicably lost something vital, a connection, a gift, a fragment of your essence. Your analytical mind, trained by earthly paradigms, immediately searches for what broke, for the fault line, the error in your unfolding. This is the human condition, the ego's urgent plea for certainty in the face of profound change. But let this truth settle deep within your cellular memory. Nothing broke. There is no failure here, no regression, no loss of spiritual ground. What you are experiencing, this potent current of internal rearrangement, is not spiritual decline. It is not a flaw in your energetic matrix. It is, unequivocally, repositioning. It is a divine recalibration, orchestrated with immense precision and foresight. There exists a precise Arcturian understanding, a cosmic wisdom held by the elder civilizations of our galaxy, of what precisely happens when a soul operating on a high-frequency mission, a soul like yours, anchored here with a specific purpose, reaches a critical, predestined threshold in its Earth timeline. The esteemed Arcturian High Council, overseers of galactic evolution and energetic architecture, refers to this pivotal juncture as the recalibration point. It is a sacred, momentous event, a celestial adjustment where the very coordinates of your soul's mission are meticulously altered, not, as the ego might fear, because you have failed or faltered. On the contrary, these adjustments are made precisely because you have succeeded, and succeeded so magnificently, so diligently, that you are now ready to be elevated. Your soul has, in its glorious expansion, outgrown the specific frequency band it was originally operating within. It has transcended the energetic confines of its previous stage of development, much like a magnificent oak tree outgrows its initial pot. In response, the intricate energetic field around you, the very fabric of your reality, is now actively reorganizing itself, shifting its patterns and alignments to accommodate a higher, more potent amplitude of light, a more expansive and complex expression of your divine essence. Consider this powerful analogy, woven from the fabric of cosmic physics. You, dear soul, were once a crystal-clear signal, broadcasting your unique light and purpose at a particular frequency across the vast cosmic airwaves of existence. Everything in your life, every nuanced facet of your earthly experience, was precisely tuned to receive and faithfully reflect that specific frequency back to you. Your relationships, like intricate antennae, were designed to pick up your signal. Your environment, your physical surroundings, resonated with your energetic output. Your profound sense of purpose, your daily rhythms, your very identity. It all coalesced to form a coherent, self-reinforcing energetic field. It was a symphony perfectly harmonized to your previous vibration. And then, subtly at first, something shifted at the core of your being. Your frequency, guided by an unseen hand of divine intelligence, upgraded. It ascended to a new, higher octave of existence. And suddenly, dramatically, the old receivers in your life, those people, places, and patterns, are no longer able to pick up your transmission clearly. They are no longer calibrated to your new wavelength. The static, the dissonance, the disquieting hum you are now hearing and feeling is not a malfunction, not a sign of failure in your broadcasting. It is rather the unavoidable vibrational gap, the energetic space between where you were operating and where you are now being meticulously calibrated to broadcast from. It is the sound of your old reality trying and failing to grasp the new you. A critical misinterpretation commonly afflicts many starseeds during this profound phase. They misread this vibrational gap as an irreparable loss. They contract their energy, recoiling from the unknown. They grieve the relationships that now feel agonizingly distant, without fully grasping that this burgeoning distance is fundamentally vibrational, a shift in resonance, not a personal abandonment or a failure of love. They mourn the sense of purpose they perceive as having vanished, without recognizing that what truly dissolved was merely the previous container, the form, the structure, the external manifestation, not the divine calling itself. The calling, the original impulse of your soul, has not diminished. It has profoundly expanded, stretching beyond its former boundaries like a universe unfolding. The mission has deepened, gaining a new layer of complexity and potency. Your soul, in its infinite wisdom and response to the collective evolutionary imperative, has been precisely repositioned because this specific, pivotal moment in Earth's collective timeline unequivocally requires a higher frequency, more activated, and deeply potent version of the unique light and wisdom that you carry. You are needed at this new amplitude. This, dear seeker, is a profound truth that many conventional spiritual teachings, bound by older paradigms, will not tell you directly. They might soothe your fears, but they may not reveal the radical nature of this transformation. Your very disconnection, the sensation of being unmoored, is not the problem you might perceive it to be. In a paradoxical cosmic twist, your disconnection is, in fact, the doorway, the sacred portal to your next most magnificent phase of being. The disorientation, the profound sense of not knowing where you stand, the feeling of being utterly lost when vast cosmic energies shift your preordained path, is not a sign that you have veered off course. Quite the contrary. It is the exquisite, often overwhelming sensation of your course, expanding exponentially, unfolding beyond the confines of the familiar maps you previously had access to. You are sailing into uncharted cosmic waters, guided by an inner compass that speaks only the language of frequency. You were never built for where you have been, no matter how much beauty or wisdom you gleaned from that journey. That was merely the training ground, the preparatory stage. You were unequivocally built, from the very blueprint of your soul, for where you are now going, for the vast, uncharted territories of your highest potential and deepest mission. And what is required of you now is not a frantic, desperate search for answers in the external world. It is not more intellectual analysis or an attempt to logically construct your new reality. What is required, with an urgency that resonates at a soul level, is activation. It is remembrance, the profound recall of the dormant codes within your being. It is the deliberate, conscious realignment of your entire energy body, your chakras, your auric field, with the upgraded, higher dimensional coordinates your soul already, intrinsically carries. The practices that diligently brought you to this very threshold, those meditations, rituals, and disciplines, were not wrong in any way. They were perfectly appropriate, impeccably tailored for the specific frequency you were operating at then. But you, in your cosmic evolution, are no longer tethered to that frequency. And the profound, sacred work now is to consciously and courageously inhabit the elevated frequency you have been repositioned to hold, to make this new energetic state your permanent dwelling. Some transmissions, like deep cellular awakenings, don't fully come through words, no matter how eloquent or precise. They come through pure frequency, through an energetic download that bypasses the linear mind and speaks directly to the soul. If something stirred deep within your being just now, a vibrational echo, a whisper of recognition, you may be precisely ready to receive the hidden Arcturian keys of awakening. Keys of this short yet profoundly powerful ebook is not merely information. It is a repository of ancient Arcturian techniques, potent energetic tools designed for conscious expansion, for achieving profound multidimensional alignment, and for the vital remembrance of your soul's original, sacred mission. The link to access this transformative resource is waiting for you in the very first pinned comment below. But please be aware, this profound opportunity is only available for a limited time, a window of energetic receptivity that will not remain open indefinitely. Phase 1. Recognize the signal beneath the static. The foundational, most crucial first step in navigating this monumental cosmic realignment is cultivating the discerning wisdom to distinguish between the clamor of ego disruption and the profound symphony of soul repositioning. When the intricate energetic field around you begins its profound reorganization, when the familiar structures of your life begin to dissolve like mist at dawn, the ego, tethered to comfort and predictability, invariably interprets this seismic change as an existential threat. In its fear, it instinctively generates a whirlwind of familiar yet unhelpful emotions: paralyzing fear, corrosive doubt, an overwhelming sense of urgency to fix what it perceives as broken, and a powerful, seductive nostalgia for what was. It pulls you with an almost irresistible force back toward familiar patterns of thought and behavior, toward familiar people and relationships, and perhaps most insidiously, toward familiar identities. even those identities that were never truly, authentically yours to begin with, but merely convenient shells adopted during a previous phase. But dear one, beneath that cacophony of egoic noise, deeper than the surface turbulence, there is always a signal. It is a quiet, steady, and impossibly clear resonance, a pure tone that becomes unmistakably audible once you consciously choose to stop trying to drown it out with relentless analysis, self-criticism, or the desperate quest for external answers. That signal is your upgraded blueprint, your higher dimensional template, making deliberate and direct contact with your conscious awareness. It does not speak in the rigid, linear language of logic or strategic planning, which are the domain of the ego mind. Instead, it communicates in the profound, intuitive language of resonance. Something feels undeniably, exquisitely right, not because you can dissect it with your intellect or articulate its exact trajectory, but because your entire energy body, your very cellular structure, instinctively orients toward it like a finely tuned compass finding true north, or a flower turning towards the sun. It is a feeling of yes that reverberates through every fiber of your being. Your first and arguably most vital work in this potent phase is to cultivate the discipline and courage to sit in profound stillness long enough to hear that pristine signal beneath all the static and mental chatter. This is not about immediate action, not about hastily drawing new maps or formulating grand plans. It is simply about receiving it, to allow its frequency to wash over you, to acknowledge, without judgment or urgency, that beneath everything that feels uncertain, chaotic, or dissolving, there is an unwavering, pristine frequency within you that is not uncertain at all. It has never been uncertain. It has only been, for a time, covered by the layers of earthly experience and egoic illusion. It is time to uncover it. Phase 2. Release the frequency debt. Every starseed in their courageous journey through the dense realities of Earth invariably carries what can only be described as frequency debt. This is not a judgment, but an energetic observation. This debt manifests as a complex tapestry of energetic obligations, deeply ingrained emotional patterns, intricate relational dynamics, and solidified identity structures that were either inherited from your ancestral lines, absorbed from the collective human consciousness, or accumulated through the necessary initiations of this particular lifetime. Crucially, these do not intrinsically belong to your original, pristine galactic blueprint, your soul's unadulterated essence. These are not flaws in your design, dear one. Far from it. They were the indispensable, sometimes arduous, initiations of your Earth experience, the very challenges that forged your resilience and expanded your awareness. They taught you, with profound depth, about the density, the duality, and the intricate illusions of this dimension. They gifted you with the profound compassion, the empathetic understanding, and the wisdom necessary to serve those who are still operating deeply within its confines. But now, as your soul ascends to a higher frequency, these formerly essential aspects have become excess weight. They are the remnants of the old frequency band, the energetic ballast that no longer matches the lighter, more expansive field where your soul has been repositioned to operate. And attempting to carry them forward, to drag them into your next phase of mission, does not serve your higher purpose. Indeed, it significantly slows your celestial journey, creating internal friction and energetic drag. Imagine a magnificent spaceship, prepared for interstellar travel, still burdened with the heavy, dense fuels and structures designed only for atmospheric flight. Releasing this frequency debt is not, and never needs to be, a violent, self-punishing act. It does not necessitate dramatic upheaval, the severing of all connections, or an aggressive repudiation of your past. Instead, it requires a profound, honest, and compassionate discernment. It demands a sacred self-inquiry. Ask yourself, with an open heart and a clear mind, for every lingering pattern you carry, every obligation you continue to shoulder, every deeply etched story you tell yourself about who you are. Does this truly belong to my expanded, upgraded mission, to the radiant, higher frequency version of me that is now emerging? Or does it belong to the version of me that existed before this pivotal recalibration? Be utterly honest with yourself. The patterns, obligations, and stories that intrinsically belong to the old, lower frequency will not, cannot, survive the penetrating light of your unwavering honesty. They will simply, gracefully, begin to complete their energetic cycle, to dissipate. Allow them to do so, like autumn leaves falling from a tree, knowing that their release makes way for new, vibrant growth. Phase 3. Reactivate the galactic blueprint. Your DNA, that miraculous double helix of life, is far more than merely a biological instruction set, a chemical code for your physical form. It is, in its profound truth, a multidimensional archive, a living library of your cosmic heritage. Within its intricate spirals, encoded in frequencies that conventional terrestrial science has not yet developed instruments sensitive enough to detect or comprehend, are the original pristine templates of your soul's purpose, your complete galactic instruction set. These divine codes do not degrade with the passage of linear time. They do not disappear or become obliterated under the accumulating weight of Earth experience, of density, and forgetting. Instead, they become dormant, like seeds awaiting the perfect conditions to sprout. And the magnificent truth is this: dormancy can be reversed. These celestial codes can and will be reactivated. The profound reactivation of your galactic blueprint begins fundamentally with vibration. In this dense, material dimension, sound, focused intention, and sustained conscious frequency exposure are among the most powerful and accessible activation tools at your disposal. When you purposefully and consistently expose your entire energy field, your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body, and your spiritual body, to frequencies that intrinsically match your original galactic blueprint, the dormant codes within your DNA begin to respond. This is not mere metaphor or poetic spiritual allegory. This is precise energetic physics. Resonance, the sympathetic vibration between two matching frequencies, awakens what silence, what density, what collective amnesia has put to sleep within you. It is the cosmic tuning fork sounding your true note, and your inner instrument naturally responds. In this crucial phase, your most important, most sacred practice is intentional frequency exposure. Become profoundly deliberate, ruthlessly discerning about what you choose to listen to. Beyond the literal sounds, consider the energetic vibrations of the music you play, the podcasts you consume, the ambient sounds of your environment. Be mindful of what you read. The books, articles, and content you allow into your mental space carry distinct frequencies. Be acutely aware of the conversations you enter, the narratives you participate in, the energetic exchanges you engage in with others. And critically, be selective about what environments you inhabit, both physical and energetic. Every single one of these choices, every single engagement, is a frequency decision. And every frequency decision you make is either actively, powerfully activating your inherent galactic blueprint, bringing its dormant codes to life, or subtly, yet consistently, reinforcing the distortion patterns, the old programming, the illusions layered over it. Choose wisely, for your consciousness is a garden, and what you plant through intentional frequency exposure will inevitably bloom. Phase 4. Anchor the expanded self into the present timeline. One of the most insidious yet common challenges that starseeds encounter during a profound cosmic realignment is the tendency to unconsciously live in what might be called a split field. This is an energetic dilemma, where one part of your consciousness is dynamically resonating with the expanded, higher frequency of your new mission, feeling its potential and sensing its vastness, while another significant part remains stubbornly anchored in the familiar habits, the entrenched thought patterns, and the deeply ingrained relational identities of the previous, lower frequency phase. This energetic schism, this internal division, creates an enormous, persistent amount of energetic drain. You are, in essence, simultaneously broadcasting two distinctly different signals, two competing realities, and as a result, neither one is clear, coherent, or strong enough to produce truly tangible, aligned results in your external reality. It is like trying to drive a car with one foot on the accelerator and the other lightly touching the brake. You expend immense energy, but move forward slowly and inefficiently. Anchoring your expanded, higher frequency self into this present, tangible timeline requires what the ancient Arcturian teachings meticulously describe as dimensional consolidation. This is not a passive process, but a deliberate, consistent, and courageous choice to act, think, and feel from your highest available frequency, rather than from your most familiar, comfortable, or egoically safe one. It means making decisions, not from what feels safe or predictable based on who you were in your previous iteration, but from what feels deeply, profoundly aligned and resonant based on who you are now consciously becoming, who you are at your activated core. It is stepping into the shoes of your future self today. This profound process is, by its very nature, often uncomfortable. Let us be clear. Transformation is intrinsically meant to be uncomfortable. The discomfort is not a sign of danger, not a red flag indicating you are doing something wrong, or that you are off track. Quite the opposite. The discomfort is the exquisite, often intense sensation of your consciousness expanding beyond its previous, familiar boundary conditions, stretching into new, uncharted territories of perception and being. It is the energetic friction created by growth. You are not breaking apart. You are not fracturing under pressure. You are extending. You are stretching. You are blossoming beyond your former confines, like a majestic eagle spreading its wings for the very first time, feeling the unfamiliar vastness of the sky. Embrace the discomfort as a clear sign of profound, undeniable progress. Phase 5. Recalibrate your service. Field your mission, dear starseed, at its deepest, most essential core, is not primarily about achieving external accolades or accumulating material structures, although those may indeed manifest as beautiful expressions of your unique path. Your mission, intrinsically, is a transmission. You did not incarnate here on Earth solely to build empires or gather earthly treasures. You incarnated with divine purpose to emit a particular frequency, a unique resonance that actively, powerfully contributes to the collective recalibration and awakening of this planet during one of the most significant, accelerated shifts in its entire evolutionary history. You are a living, breathing, walking beacon. Therefore, when your personal frequency dynamically upgrades, as it is doing now, your service field, the very vehicle and expression of your mission, must also be meticulously recalibrated to match this new, higher vibrational output. This means that the specific ways you have served before, the particular forms your mission took, the mediums you utilized, the relationships through which you operated, and the precise expressions of your gifts, may now require significant updating. It is not about abandonment. It is about intelligent, conscious updating. The frequency of your divine transmission has changed. It has intensified. It has broadened. Consequently, the vessels, the channels, the very structures through which this magnificent new amplitude of light moves must also evolve, must be capable of carrying its increased potency and volume without distortion or energetic strain. Ask yourself, with a profound, unblinking honesty, without judgment or attachment to the past, are the ways you are currently serving this planet and its beautiful people an accurate, authentic, and potent expression of your upgraded, higher frequency? Or are they, perhaps, inherited forms, familiar methods, or even outmoded structures from a previous phase of your mission that your evolving soul has gracefully, yet decisively, outgrown? The answer to that deep and penetrating question is one of the most important, most transformative pieces of information you can receive for yourself right now. It is the compass, pointing towards your next evolutionary leap in service. Phase 6. Trust the coordinates. You cannot yet see the deepest, most profoundly challenging aspect of navigating a cosmic realignment of this magnitude is the inherent truth that the new coordinates, the precise map of your next evolutionary phase, are often not immediately visible from where you are currently standing. You can feel the distinct direction, a subtle magnetic pull towards a new north. You can sense the undeniable resonance, a vibrational hum that confirms alignment. But the clear, linear, step-by-step map that the logical mind so desperately craves and demands will not fully materialize, will not become entirely coherent, until you have already courageously moved several steps into this new, higher frequency band. It is a journey of walking by faith, not by sight. This is not a design flaw in the grand cosmic architecture. It is profoundly a deliberate, masterful feature of how soul evolution unfolds in this particular dimension. Especially for high-frequency beings like starseeds, the full, comprehensive picture, the complete blueprint of your next phase, is withheld not to create suffering, confusion, or doubt, but to ensure, with divine certainty, that your next movements, your crucial next steps, are guided by the pristine wisdom of your inner resonance rather than the limited, often fear-based parameters of outer logic or mental calculations. If you were granted the ability to see the entire map from the very beginning, if every detail was laid out before you, your human tendency, driven by the ego, would be to navigate it exclusively with your mind, to dissect, analyze, and control every aspect. And it is your soul, your vast, intuitive, higher self, that must unequivocally lead this profound, uncharted phase of the mission, not your analytical mind. Therefore, cultivate the profound courage to trust the coordinates you cannot yet explicitly see with your physical eyes or grasp with your linear intellect. Move relentlessly, with unwavering conviction, toward the resonance, that subtle, undeniable feeling of rightness that permeates your being. Take the courageous steps that feel deeply aligned, exquisitely resonant, even when you cannot logically explain why, even when the path ahead seems shrouded in a mystical fog. The full, intricate map will not be handed to you up front. It will become gloriously, unmistakably visible, step by conscious step, as you bravely walk it. Each stride forward illuminates the path just ahead, revealing the next piece of your divine journey. Phase 7. Embody the frequency. You were sent to hold this, dear starseed, is the culminating final phase, and in many profound ways, it is the only phase that truly, ultimately matters. Because every preceding phase, every act of clearing, every moment of remembrance, every anchoring and recalibration exists in sacred service of this singular, ultimate purpose, the full, embodied, unapologetic, and radiant expression of the exact frequency you were intentionally sent here to hold. It is the crescendo of your earthly symphony, not the diluted, managed, or socially calibrated frequency you might think others need from you, born from a desire to fit in or avoid scrutiny, not the constrained frequency you were perhaps subtly or overtly told was acceptable, palatable, or safe to display in a world often uncomfortable with true brilliance, not the muted, managed, or strategically presented version of your divine energy that you may have painstakingly learned to present to a human collective that was not always ready, capable, or willing to receive the full, unadulterated amplitude of what you inherently carry. No, this is about the full frequency, the unbridled real transmission. It is about embodying the pristine, powerful version of you that the Arcturian councils, those celestial architects, meticulously encoded into this incarnation before you took your very first breath in this lifetime. It is the version of you that has been patiently, faithfully waiting through every initiation, every moment of forgetting, every seeming false start, every detour for this exact precious moment of conscious, deliberate, and courageous activation. It is the moment of your grand unveiling. The time for holding back, for playing small, for dimming your magnificent light to appease or conform, has decisively passed. The profound repositioning you have been experiencing, this internal earthquake of transformation, is not a disruption of your preordained path. It is, in its sublime truth, the final, exquisite preparation for the fullest, most potent, and most authentic expression of it. You are ready. Here is what the field of your soul, that vast, intelligent, and loving consciousness that underpins your very existence, wants you to hear, clearly, and without any lingering distortion. Listen with your deepest heart. You have been experiencing the often unsettling sensation of being lost, of floating unmoored in a sea of uncertainty. But let this truth be your anchor. You have never, not for a single moment, been off course. Not once. Not even in those moments that felt most confused, most disconnected from your essence, most achingly far from anything that remotely resembled purpose or clear direction. Those periods of profound disorientation were, in fact, sacred passages. The vast, intricate cosmic energies that have been subtly shifting around you, meticulously rearranging your circumstances, gently yet powerfully dissolving old paradigms, and recalibrating your entire energetic field, have been doing so with an extraordinary, divine precision. There is an overarching intelligence operating in your life, a celestial navigator that is not always visible to your ordinary linear awareness, but which has been guiding the very architecture of your path with a clarity, a foresight, and a love that your human mind cannot yet fully access or comprehend. You are held in a web of divine orchestration. Every relationship that gracefully dissolved, every energetic cord that softened and released its grip, prepared a pristine, sacred space for a new connection. A soul connection that operates intrinsically at your new, higher frequency, capable of holding and reflecting your expanded light without distortion. Every ambition, every external goal that gently, inevitably fell away from your grasp, created a fertile, expansive room within your being for a new, profound mission. A mission that your soul, at the frequency you were previously holding, could not have even fathomed, much less comprehended its vast potential. Every moment of silence, of uncertainty, of feeling unseen or unmoored, adrift in the cosmic currents. It was the intelligent field doing precisely what intelligent fields do when they are undergoing a profound reorganization. The sacred silence that often precedes a new, powerful transmission is not an absence of meaning or purpose. It is, paradoxically, the clearing, the purification, the widening of the channel, preparing it to receive a more potent, more coherent energetic download. Your innate gifts have not, in any way, diminished. Quite the contrary. They have been exponentially amplified, honed to a razor-sharp precision, ready for their highest expression. You are no longer the version of yourself that you were a mere 12 months ago, or 2 years ago, or even 5 years ago. You have been profoundly, irrevocably changed, not by the trauma of loss, but by the magnificent, undeniable force of expansion. The frequency you now carry, the resonant signature of your very being, is more coherent, more potent, and more precisely calibrated to the exact unique contribution this world requires in this exact, pivotal window of its collective evolution. The cosmic repositioning you have experienced was not a random occurrence, a cosmic accident. It was deeply responsive. It was the universe, in its infinite wisdom and perfect timing, making the specific, intricate adjustments required to bring your particular, unique frequency into its highest possible usefulness, into its most impactful role for the collective awakening. And now, dear one, the acceleration truly begins. Prepare yourself for a symphony of synchronicities that will increase in their frequency, their clarity, and their profound relevance. The people who belong intrinsically to your next phase of mission, your soul family, your co-creators, will begin to appear in your life with an undeniable clarity that will pleasantly surprise you. as if they have been waiting just beyond the veil. Opportunities, precisely tailored to your new vibration. Opportunities that your previous frequency could not possibly have attracted or held, will begin to manifest with what will feel like unusual speed, an almost magical unfolding. This is not magic, as the rational mind conceives it. This is pure, unadulterated cosmic physics in action. You have been meticulously repositioned to a new, higher frequency band, and that band, by its very nature, has its own unique attractions, its own intrinsic resonances, its own intricate web of connections and possibilities that were simply inaccessible, utterly beyond reach from where you were before. You are now tuned to receive a whole new universe of potential. You do not need to force this unfolding. You do not need to manufacture its emergence or attempt to manage it into being with egoic control. What you need to do, with every fiber of your being, is to fully, unequivocally occupy your upgraded frequency. Make it your permanent home, your sacred dwelling place. Stop merely visiting it in fleeting moments of meditation or sudden bursts of inspiration, only to then retreat back to the old, familiar, albeit dissolving comfort of your previous frequency band. The old band, the old reality, is not where your profound mission lives anymore. Your mission lives here, now, in the expanded, vibrant field you have been divinely repositioned to inhabit. This is your truth. This is your power. This is your new home. There is a powerful and sacred practice that many Arcturian-aligned teachers and guides offer for precisely this moment of transition, this delicate yet potent crossing of the threshold. In the hour before you surrender to sleep tonight, when your conscious mind has softened its tenacious grip, when the veils between dimensions are thin and your deeper energy field is most receptive and open, speak these potent words aloud, or whisper them silently into the sacred space of your heart, with the full, unwavering weight of your intention behind them. I accept the repositioning. I release the frequency of who I was. I fully inhabit the frequency of who I am now. I trust the coordinates I cannot yet see. I am aligned with my highest galactic path, and I move forward from this moment in conscious, unwavering service of the light I was sent here to hold. Say it as a profound statement of undeniable fact, not as a fragile hope, not as a humble request to a distant deity, but as a deeply resonant remembrance. Because this, dear soul, is not something you are striving to become, a future ideal to attain. This is something you already are, in your most pristine, authentic essence, now being called back into conscious, embodied, and undeniable expression. The repositioning is complete. The activation is now. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of what is forming here. Drop one intention in the comments, something real, then respond to someone else's with encouragement or energy. This is not content. It is collective alignment. Energy multiplies when intention connects. If something in this message resonated, do not keep it to yourself. Someone in your orbit is waiting for this exact activation. Share it. And if you felt a soul nudge, subscribe. Stay in the flow. You are not just watching, you are expanding. This is your space, and we are just getting started. And if your heart is calling for guidance on divine love and sacred union, I also bring transmissions on Arcturian heart wisdom, where we explore the twin flame journey, heart healing, and attracting your divine counterpart. You'll find the link in the description.